Yes, I finally got a nature journal, something I've been wanting to see for many years. It's the spawning of the Coho salmon, and this is an endangered population in Northern California.
You see one up there? Oh yeah, there it goes.
Only in certain conditions at certain times of year and in the perfect stream settings do these salmon come all the way up from the ocean to reproduce and die. If you go see this, be sensitive and follow the signs because this is an endangered population.
No, I'm trying to nature journal, so I'm like trying to get some sketches in. Oh, don't tell me you sketch too. Oh, nice. You actually nature journal as well? Yay, our guru. Wait, let me come talk. There was just a male salmon right here and I got some quick sketches of it. And the interesting thing is I noticed it because someone else told me that they saw it. I started talking with a couple other people on the trail, so that's one of the things that can happen when you're nature journaling in the field, in public, is you might start talking. So remember, whenever you're out there nature journaling, even if it's just for yourself, you are sort of an ambassador for nature journaling. So try to be nice to the muggles, and in this case I met some people who are also nature journalers. I don't see the fish that was here anymore, but what I'm gonna do in the meantime until it comes back, I'm going to capture a little bit of the scene. In real life, organisms don't exist in isolation on a blank white sheet of paper. So it's really important to capture some of that context in our nature journal. In this case, it's especially important because the pattern of these streams and the health of these streams and the hydrology of these streams is critical to creating the conditions that allow for salmon to breed. So this is one of the causes probably of why this species is endangered. So I'm just trying to capture a little map of what that zone looks like. I was just starting to write down as many names of the streamside plants as I could identify when someone came up for the umpteenth time and asked me if I was counting reds.
Are you counting reds?
I'm not. I'm just sort of generally nature journaling, so I'm not doing anything very quantitative. It's more qualitative. Yeah. It's my first time here, so I saw one earlier, and now I'm just...
one
Nice.
down there.
Are you counting them?
No.
Okay. Yeah, now I'm just drawing sort of the meandering of the stream.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Most nature journalers I have talked to prefer nature journaling on their own, but sometimes you can't avoid talking to people, and in fact, in public places such as this, you can get good information from them. One person told me there was a couple salmon spawning actively nearby. I started to walk in that direction, but immediately got distracted by these weird gulls. Nature is always distracting, but on a special event like this, it's even more important to stay focused. I don't know if you can see this right now, but right where those two rocks constrict the flow of water, there are two coho salmon spawning, an endangered species. Now that I found the spot where the action is happening, it's time to get down to business. I'm trying to do some quick sketches to capture the behavior, capture the movement. Remember, words can be really helpful. Just as I was starting to get into a flow, a bunch of kids showed up and started doing that annoying thing that kids are really good at, asking questions. You can learn a lot listening to the questions that kids ask in these kind of nature situations. And you can also learn a lot listening to the responses and the reactions of the adults. Because of what I do, I am exposed to these interactions all the time, and unfortunately, adults usually fail while the children pass with flying colors. In this case, one of the kids asked, if they have hundreds or thousands of babies, how do they take care of them? The dad answered that they don't take care of them, they just let them go on their way. While this is probably the correct answer, what would be a more interesting response? That's a good question, though.
It was a good question. Yeah.
Most adults feel uncomfortable when kids ask questions and they try to answer them as quickly as possible or say that it is a dumb question. In my opinion, the best thing to do is to provide positive feedback and encourage the asking of more questions or respond to their question with a question of your own. How would you call that movement? I was trying to come up with a funny name. Oh.
got a funny name for that movie.
Yeah.
The fish.
You noticed it, dude. Oh, that's way better than what I came up with. I'm gonna add that onto here. The flipper dipper. That sounds good.
It's valuable to include ideas, names, and things other people say in your journal.
Now I'm gonna try to get some color with my watercolors. What colors do you notice on them?
I don't know.
Look at them.
The family started to leave, but one of the kids said, "I want to stay and watch that guy draw the fish."
You have to help me come up with like good questions or things to put in here because you gotta pay attention while you're watching such a cool and rare event, you know?
Sometimes the nature journaler becomes the main attraction and the nature event becomes less interesting. So that's your opportunity to direct people's attention to what you're observing. Here, I'm going to use a little wet on wet to try to capture the colors of this salmon.
I can't.
Let me know what you see up there.
Say thank you.
Yeah, notice something up there and let me know what you saw. Been good so far. The light has changed. I saw a lot of activity in there. There's also a lot of people. So these are things that are tricky for beginner nature journalers. Talking to other people while trying to do your nature journaling can be tricky, but also super rewarding. And trying to draw something that is hard to see is also very tricky, but super rewarding. So I recommend when you're in a situation like this to know beforehand that it's not a very easy subject for nature journaling and there's going to be some challenges. So come up with a plan before you start and don't be too hard on yourself. So most important thing is just to go do it, get at least something on the page. But if you don't create a masterpiece, or even if you don't like the way that your drawings looked or something like that, don't judge yourself too harshly for that. Even if you don't fill that many pages, just try to get anything on the page and actually go out there and do it and nature journal in one of those situations, and you'll get better and better. And then eventually you will be able to produce the aesthetic stuff you want. You'll be able to perform the way you want more in the field.
This episode came out 6 months early for Patreon members. Thanks for your support. Bye.